We're going to get started in a second, everybody. Okay. All right, my magical friends just trying to, there we go. That's what it was. Okay. Haha. Got it all sorted. And we are gonna start. Oh, yeah, kind of on all platforms at the moment. Okay, magical friends, so welcome. Decided to do an impromptu video as this is how it goes. So at spa in Aspen, and holy cannoli, so much change. I don't know if you all have been feeling it lately, but lots of change in the air. And so I wanted to kind of I just got done seeing some clients, and this has been in my world for so long. And you know, this this thing that almost every person I ever work with suffers from this one thing, and it's like it's insane to me included. I am not immune to this, but I've been sort of doing my research and looking at it for the last like year plus, year and a half, maybe even 2 years. And it's this this thing that we all do, which is we all love to make people happy. We all love to make like want people to love us. Now, some people don't suffer from that. But the point is that when we have people in our lives, we tend to care about them, which is a great thing. We tend to want to make people happy, which is a great thing. The challenge comes in when we're doing that at the effect of our own sort of anonymity, at the effect of our own energy, at the effect of our own business, at the effect of, spending time with our family. I'm gonna tell a little story because it just really hit me hard, and I actually did a post on social media today. So yesterday, proud mama moment, like proud mama moment. I am gonna get out of the direct sun. So my son is an incredible athlete and is like a really hard worker athletically. He loves to try new things, and he gets a little scared. I mean, he's going off of crazy jumps and catching 20 plus feet of air, maybe even more. He started doing 360s, he's been doing tail grabs. He's a snowboarder, right, in Aspen, and he's been competing, and he doing a really good job. And I said to him, like, what are some of the things you would be proud of happening this year? And he's like, I really want to get really good at snowboarding. I want to win competitions. I want to do this. And so he's been going all out. He's been competing almost every weekend. And he's gotten one medal this year, but he's felt discouraged. He's competing against people who are 1, 2, sometimes even 3 years older than him. And he's little, and his coaches are like, there's nothing that he is doing that is technically wrong. He's just smaller. He doesn't have as much weight on him. So there's certain things that he's not able to go in like races with speed as fast as some of the kids who have 30, sometimes 40 pounds on him. And it's really cute because he tries so hard. So yesterday, he had to compete and chose to compete, didn't have to. And it was really amazing to watch him be there to support him. And, it's standing around. They joke I'm a soccer mom and a, snowboard mom and go to all the competitions. And there's a lot of standing around. And I love to ski. So I'm like, okay, but I love supporting my son. And so in this leading up to this event, which is a big event for him, he was like, Mom, what if I fail? Like everybody on my team wants me to go for it. I'm really nervous. I've never done a 360 in a competition before. And I was like, well, how does it feel to not do it? And he's like, oh, it doesn't feel so good. How does it feel to try, even if you don't like nail it? He's like, well, I guess it's better to try. And I said, what if you start visualizing? Right? That it'll be okay. But the thing that I kind of want to emphasize is he was getting upset and distraught because he had put a ton of pressure on himself. He put a ton of pressure on himself. And in putting pressure on himself, he was worried what his teammates would think. He was worried about what I would think. He was worried about what his coaches would think. Would he disappoint them? He was worried about what his dad would think. Would his dad be upset with him? Would I be upset with him if he didn't, do a good job? And I said to him, I said, you know what, Duke, doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Doesn't matter what anyone else believes about you. All that matters is what you believe about you. All that matters is that you show up and do your best and live your best life and be proud of yourself for how hard you've tried and how far you've come. And so yesterday, we're at the competition and he nailed his 360 and I'm filming and I'm like, yeah, right? And, um, and then we get to later that day at the awards ceremony. I was like, how'd you think he did? He's like, I don't know, Mom. I don't know how I did. I hope I podium. I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't make it. And it was like, oh, bless this little man's like sweet, adorable heart. Like my mama heart just like melts when I'm like, learning and growing and evolving with him and being present for him. And so he nails jump and he nails his second jump and he did a really good job. And we're at the podium and they announce third place winner. They announce the second place winner, and the announcer happens to be a redhead. My son is a redhead, and the guy goes, "Must have been his crazy red hair, but here it comes, first place." And at that, Duke just like starts jumping up and running up to the podium. He didn't even wait for his name to be announced because he knew that he was the only redhead in that heat. And so he had won first place, got the gold medal, and just like you could feel and see the pride in his world. And, I want to almost cry because a year ago, I was not as present as a mom as I could have been for him. And I don't know how long ago it was. I want to say somewhere between a year to a year and a half ago. This sweet little boy, redhead, blue eyed, freckled faced, amazing, incredible human. And yes, I'm biased. I'm his mother, but his coaches tell me he's amazing. His teachers tell me he's amazing. I recently had a few people come up to me and be like, how did how did he learn how to shake hands? He looks people in the eyes. I said, I've been working hard on this one, right? But this little amazing man, a year to a year and a half ago, he sat me down and he put his hands on my shoulders and he looked me straight in the eyes with his big blue eyes and he said, Mom, I don't think you're okay. Right. And as I'm going to do it right now, it's like held back the tears. My cheeks were rosy. I was a little flushed. I was a little flustered. I was trying not to, cry too much. But I just looked him straight in the eyes and I said, right. And I went on this giant self discovery. And one of the things that in working with people from all walks of life, from all around the world, doesn't matter who they are, where they've been, how fantastic and amazing, how successful they've been, how accomplished they've been, almost every single person I've ever worked with suffers from this idea of worrying about disappointing others, right? Worrying about what other people think. Some people even over give of themselves, of their energy, of their resources, of their money, of their time to make other people feel happy. But at the end of the day, they start feeling drained. And the health consequences that that creates, it can be from chronic fatigue syndrome, it can be loss of appetite, it can be maybe overeating, depression, anxiety, panic attacks. There's so many things that can happen when we are overgiving of our energy. And what happens is when we overgive of our energy, we disconnect from that powerful resource inside of us, where every single one of us on the planet has a superhero inside of us, has this magician inside of us, has this really cool being that knows that there's more to life than suffering, that there's more to life than mediocrity. And what I've realized, especially in the last year, is almost everyone I work with suffers from people pleasing. And it wasn't until I started studying this topic and realizing that if you're a people pleaser, chances are you might have had, you know, tumultuous childhood, or maybe you had a really severe trauma in your life, or maybe you just wanted to be liked and wanted to fit in. And so this people pleasing, what it does is it can keep your nervous system in constant fight, flight, fawn, freeze. When your nervous system is in fight, flight, fawn, or freeze, your body doesn't work as good. So it drains your energy. Maybe your metabolism doesn't work. Maybe your thyroid gets off. Maybe your adrenals and your lymph nodes get taxed. Maybe your liver and spleen don't end up um, doing their job, which is to detox. Your body kind of shuts down, which your body's natural ability is to heal itself. And so I had no idea how deep rooted this people pleasing goes. And it goes from anywhere from feeling like you're missing out, telling too many people yes all the time, biting your tongue and not telling your truth, maybe just, you know, not saying no enough, maybe worrying about what other people think, maybe fear of other people's judgments. And like, what I didn't realize is how deeply it's connected to your energetic health journey. So, your body's health. Do you have energy? Do you have vitality? Are you alive in your world? And, it's so funny. The last like 4 days, I've been crying nonstop, releasing a ton of energy. Hasn't been comfortable, but I haven't cried for a long time. It was like my body has been needing to release, and I could put a story to it, or I could just let my body do what it needs to do, which is to heal and release. And so I had no idea how deeply rooted this people pleasing thing was. And I decided to offer a class, an online class, where you can not only get to the root of your own people pleasing, where it comes from, but we don't really need to dig in the trash and discover where it comes from. All we need to do is realize that it might be the cause of some of your underlying symptoms that you haven't been able to solve, no matter how many doctors or how many healers or how many massages or acupuncture treatments you get. Sometimes there's these underlying energies that affect us more than we know. And I've realized in the last year and a half of working with people all over the world, all walks of life, almost every single person in some way, shape, or form is sabotaging not only their success, not only their health, not only their happiness, but their physical body gets stuck. High cortisol levels, imbalanced nervous system or irregulated nervous system, and irregular hormones. And the combination of those three things, cortisol, nervous system, and hormones, those three things can really destroy somebody's mental health, their physical health, their ability to have energy to create their life. And so I wanted to create this class, never done before, that is going to not only address the symptoms, but create resources, practical things that you can do every day that take anywhere from 5 minutes a day. We all have 5 minutes for our health. We all have five mental health. And if then perhaps there's something different to look at. But the truth is, we all have enough time for the things that we value. And if you value your energy levels, if you value your mental health, if you value, creating a greater future, if you value living a fantastic life, not a mediocre life, then I want to invite you and on Hide It, right? I want to invite you to check it out. For those of you that are joining us on social media, welcome. Also see this video directly on my website at katherinemcintosh.com/connect. But I've got this class called People Pleasing the Class, and it is going to allow you to stop yourself from sneaky little habits where we give our energy up for others. And if that sounds like something that you would like to be a part of, you can go to my website, katherinemcintosh.com. People pleasing the class is on the home page. Just scroll halfway down. If you don't like scrolling, you can go to katherinemcintosh.com live dash events, right? Live dash events. And and you'll see People Pleasing the Class on my website, and you can join at any time. You are welcome. But what I will say is it's changing a lot of things, and I want to invite you to consider that perhaps might be time, if you've tried everything, if you still aren't where you want to be in any or every area of your life, you might be, spending a lot of energy, giving your energy away to people, resources, and energies, where when you take your energy back, now all of a sudden you have energy to live your life. And so my mama heart goes out, because if it weren't for my son putting his hands on my shoulders, looking me straight in the eyes, and letting me know that something was wrong with me, it was like, if my son's recognizing this, I better find a solution. And I went searching high and low. I went to doctors, I got blood tests, did a whole bunch of stuff. And it wasn't until I started implementing a few key things that I'm going to not only share with you, but also show you how to do it and what to do, so you can get your nervous system regulated, your hormones balanced, and your cortisol levels back to normal, so you can start to live the life you are meant to live. Because yesterday, my mama heart shed a whole lot of tears, tears of joy, tears of gratitude, tears of release, because the last year has been not always easy, but I finally got back to me so I can be there for one of the people that matter most to me in my life, which is my son, and being there for him, and not being an absentee parent, or just like, there but checked out. He deserves more. And the truth is, we all deserve more. We deserve to be checked in, heart open, living an alive and abundant life. And if you have been, perhaps trying to grow your business and it's not going where you want, you might be people pleasing. If your intimate relationships feel a little disconnected, might be from this people pleasing. If you're not showing up as the best parent you can be, might be because of people pleasing. And if you're not showing up for yourself, right, might also be because of that. And so I want to invite you to check out People Pleasing the Class, because it may just change your life. So thanks for joining. Hope to see you sometime soon. And yeah, So go to katherinemcintosh.com/, live dash events, or you can go straight to the people pleasing class, which is basically people. So it's katherinemcintosh.com/people dash pleasing dash class. Pretty easy. It's on social media. Check it out. And yeah, be well, my friends. And if you don't join, that's okay. I just invite you to look at perhaps the areas of your life where you may not even realize it. Because, like me, I didn't realize how deep rooted my people pleasing was, making everybody happy, overgiving. You may want to just notice if you are people pleasing and see what happens if you start giving yourself permission to fire your people pleaser, to start saying no to the things that don't light you up and yes to the things that do. Because you know what, my friends, we're in a crazy time and it is time to start really demanding to choose for you so that you can show up for you, your purpose, your life, your loved ones, and be present because you deserve a fantastic life. And so do the people around you. So be well. See you next time.